I'm Mike DiGirolamo, and like around 20,000 other people this year, I'm running the Boston Marathon. And I'm using this run to raise money for an environmental news outlet called Mongabay. Mongabay is a nonprofit, and in recent decades, journalism has taken a really hard hit in how it's funded, especially journalism that is focused on the environment. So Mongabay needs all the help it can get. That's why I'm dedicating my second appearance at Boston to Mongabay, both because I care about its mission and because of its impact on my life and the lives of people all over the world. I used to be a smoker, and I didn't really start running in earnest until about 2016. But for several years before this, running was probably one of the only ways that I would de-stress. I have a personal record in the marathon of 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 56 seconds, and my half marathon personal record is 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 24 seconds. And before the pandemic happened, I was probably close to around 2:39 marathon shape. But none of us got to run in 2020, since along with Boston, all the major races in the US were canceled. I love to run, and I probably will for the rest of my life, but what I love even more is positive impact and using whatever platform I have to drive positive social change. I am, or I was, an actor for many years, and for a really long time, I didn't think there was anything I could do with my life beyond just basic career aspirations. For a long time, I thought I was just going to grind away at auditions and serve tables for the rest of my life. One day in Los Angeles, I was sitting in my apartment across from Sunset Gower Studios, where I lived at the time, listening to the ever-present hum of helicopters until 3 a.m. in the morning. And I just thought, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? And I severely questioned whether or not I was doing something with my life that had meaning to me. I had this aching feeling that there was something else that I was supposed to be doing that I wasn't, and it really ate at me for a long time. I always loved the natural world, which is it's kind of ironic since I live in the second most densely populated city in the United States. But when I was a kid, our teachers informed us that we would possibly see the eradication of most of the remaining tropical rainforests, or at least see them degrade past a point of regeneration. And I remember that this really freaked me out, and I had no idea what I could do about it. And surely I thought that, someone's got this handled, someone's gonna figure this out. And I turned out to be really wrong about that. So when I was 26, I found myself with a desire to change the world, but where does a guy with 2 theater degrees go to make a difference? I read a memoir called Mother of God by an environmentalist named Paul Rosalie. It's a really good memoir if you ever get a chance to read it. And he thanked an outlet in the acknowledgments called Mongabay. And it turns out that Mongabay is one of the most respected environmental news organizations in the world. And I looked them up and saw that they had an internship program which I applied for. And to my surprise, they accepted me. And so I fulfilled the term of my internship, and I really had no desire to stop working with them. And they let me hang around. I kept writing for them. And several years later, I helped them launch a podcast, which I'm currently working with them on today. The thing about Mongabay that really inspired me wasn't just their reporting, but the fact that it had measurable impact on corporate, legislative, and land use policies. Their reporting had direct effect on, whether certain corporations could exploit certain plots of land. And I thought, I really need to be a part of this. This is something special. Why don't I become an environmental journalist? At the same time, I said to them, hey, what if I ran the Boston Marathon and raised money for you? And thankfully, they really loved the idea. However, our plans for it in 2020 got derailed due to the pandemic. I believe Mongabay is the best source of environmental news in the world. I knew it 6 years ago, and I know it today. But this kind of reporting and this kind of impact doesn't pay for itself. It takes resources to enable hundreds of journalists in dozens of countries across the world to cover environmental news. It is politically messy and sometimes even dangerous to do this kind of work. I have friends, coworkers, and acquaintances that have worked in conservation, anti-poaching, and in media that have been shot, imprisoned, and even killed doing their jobs. And I want to make sure that their sacrifices and their efforts are not in vain. I guess you could call it my mission to provide transparency, visibility, and accountability on the people and the forces at play that are seeking to exploit or mismanage our natural world. How are we going to do that without reporting? Without people letting the world know precisely what is going on and where nature's front line is drawn? I don't think I could ever fully thank Mongabay for everything they've done for me with my mere words. So I'm doing it in the best way I know how, and I'm asking for your support to help me give back to an organization that has impacted my life and the lives of so many others in such an important way. We have a funding goal of $100,000, and I'm confident we can reach that with your support. So I'm asking you to please donate whatever you can to help us keep giving the world the news and the inspiration that it needs at such a crucial point in our world's history. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in Hopkinton.